And we are live with our first game of day 2 of the Infinity Game Gold Platinum League. I am Xdon, one of the owners, and I'm here with my man Vaslo. Well, how you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm pretty excited for this game. We got NAS Next All-Stars versus Naughty Nips, and I used to play on Naughty Nips, and I'm pretty excited to see how they're doing now. Some things in life happen, but we do, however, have fans coming rapid fire right out of the gate.
Yeah, the Lissandra, we all know, one of Phoenix's Sorry Gotta Go's. Zooey's a man of many names, but not a man of many champs, so it's been rumored. The Lissandra coming right out there, and then Naughty Nips answering right back with some top lane bans.
And they're going to say a crock of that, as we do have the Ezreal ban as well. So, I'm pretty excited for how this game is going to come out. I'm pretty sure we're going to see NAS also ban the Vladimir from Zooey or Phoenix or lobby issues.
Have nothing. I think this is going to be one of our dodges that are taking effect here. It might have been a mistake there with one of the picks. We will find out for you guys shortly.
I look forward to finding out, but frankly, I'm just excited. I'm ready. I'm like looking forward to it.
Yeah, me as well. I mean, we have a lot of names here that we're pretty familiar with, but also a lot of newcomers as well. Best Anime, Lucius Best, he's been around for quite a little bit. Rito No Band, please. Little Rem. A lot of name changes, really. Sushi, he's always been around. But then all of a sudden we see like these other new people like Luctus Stella. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, or Chef Senpai. I believe he's new this season as well.
I know Chef Senpai for a while because I know him through the likes of Keeper of Meeps and Eclipsed. I know that he plays top lane. I've seen him play. I played with him a couple times. His Darius is pretty nutty. I've definitely camped it and watched him get really fed. He also plays Fiora, Yasuo. I don't know if he plays Aurelia, but I know his Yasuo is really good and it's always a joy to watch.
He didn't have much fun against a Yasuo yesterday. Ended up opting into the Fiora matchup, and it didn't go the way he wanted it to. Naughty Nips coming out with a really early lead and then kind of struggling in the mid game.
I did in fact see that, and was a struggle, but I'm sure that their mental can be recovered for today and that they'll be able to pull off that same delightful early game lead and then maybe actually push the advantage to an end game result.
Yeah, and this is going to be up against Next All-Stars, this is going to be their first game of the season, actually. They weren't able to play yesterday. Their team that they were supposed to be up against was not able to make it, so they're coming in fresh out of the gates. Have they practiced is a really good question, and I think we're going to find out really quickly which team is coming here more prepared.
I look forward to seeing how this game is going to play out. Best Anime I know has been a Renekton player, loves Renekton. I think he also plays things along the lines of like Kled. I'm sure he'll default to Sion if need be, because Sion is always such a brain-dead and fun champion to play.
Brain-dead and fun, but wins a lot of games of League of Legends, simply because you can just sit up there, survive the war of attrition, which is top lane in a nutshell, and eventually just become the train for your team and propel yourself to victory.
Especially if you can just yell choo-choo like a monkey and go wee, or run away yelling cowards. Either way, works out fantastic.
As we're back into the fixing bans, it seems like the one of the second bans there was the reason we had to remake here. So Thresh is going to be the one banned away from Sushi. He did do decently in laning phase, and he was able to get a little bit of a lead for his AD carry. But kind of like I said in the mid game, it just really fell apart.
I'm looking forward to see what they're going to do. They're up to ban the Darius here, so Yasuo's still up, Vladimir's still up. They still have another ban for Naughty Nips, and I look forward to seeing what they're going to prioritize in their first pick phase.
Yeah, I think Chef plays too many carry tops in order for you to ban them all, but I guess Darius is the one they're scared of most, especially if he's going into a tank matchup, if that's what Best Anime decides to play here. But yeah, with the Evelyn ban, the Syndra ban, a lot of kind of mid-game level 6 spikes being taken away from Next All-Stars.
I look forward to seeing what's going to happen here. The Syndra ban is going to be pretty interesting here, and with that in mind, we do, however, have their first pick for Naughty Nips, and I'm looking forward to seeing what it is. And there's a Kayn, as we did get to see the Kayn coming really aggressive in the early game last game, ending up at the 8-0, and then started to falter in the mid game. But hopefully we can see a little bit better.
Yeah, Yonkdom had some really nice plays coming out on the Kayn. Had a tremendous start. Had a nice little 2v1 in the top lane due to some, I think maybe some miscommunication, but we'll give it to him. We'll call it an outplay, and we'll see if we'll be able to pull off a repeat performance on that champion. I think Ezreal, though, is just such a safe pick that next All-Star is just, I feel like just right off the bat, slightly good preparation there.
Ooh, a Vi pick coming in. I don't really like that into it Kayn personally, but I do have to say though that I now realize that Slow Q's name now makes a lot more sense. Picking Ezreal, we're going to probably go for the Iceborne Gauntlet rushes. We do see a lot of AD, and it's just going to make a lot of sense here. And we have an Alawi as well.
Yeah, Alawi is a complete monster in the top side, and just judging off of a lot of the plants, that Chef likes to play, I think he is going to have a little bit of difficulty there. Kayn definitely going to want to be getting that Rost form sooner rather than later to land some CC. How do you feel about the Vi into the Kayn matchup?
Honestly, the Vi into the Kayn matchup, it has a really rough time playing out as you want, because obviously Vi is going to want to try to get an early game assassination to the Kayn, but Kayn is such a fast clear, and it's very hard to catch, especially with the ability to ease through walls, has a midi dash that can dodge the Q damage very easily. So it's pretty hard for Vi to get what she wants, and if Vi ever tries to ult Kayn, Kayn can just ult her first and just disappear and the ult goes away, and it's a very fun interaction.
Yeah, we'll see how that one plays out. I think with a lot of these people, it'll be who is able to get more pressure out on the map early, which I do think Vi wins in that aspect, simply because Kayn base form doesn't have a lot of CC, just simply has a slow on the W. And we'll need to see if Naughty Nips can pick lanes for Kayn that are able to set him up nicely to propel him into the mid game where Ross just becomes such that dominant force.
I'm honestly surprised we didn't say the Yasuo pick for Chef Senpai. I imagine that's an Aurelia top, but I think Yasuo does incredibly well into the likes of Ezreal and Alawi. Not so great into Vi, because Vi just says no. But, I mean, honestly, it does so well into the Alawi matchup, as it's very hard for Alawi to get the pressure, the damage down to poke him out of lane and just get her own sustain, because her sustain is based on hitting the Yasuo.
Yeah, I do agree. I do like the Aurelia, because that can be flexed to the mid if it so chooses. I'm not sure how the Alawi into the Aurelia matchup goes, but I don't think that it is pretty good for the Aurelia early on, simply just because Alawi is such a dominant lane bully.
I think Aurelia has a chance right around levels 3 and 5. Has like the most optimal time, has a better 3 level all ability spike. So something I think we can maybe guess that Yonkdom will be able to help out Chef Senpai in the top lane with the Aurelia if it does come to fruition at that time. And we have a Nami pick.
I do like the Nami, but at the same time, that's a super easy ult target for the Vi. The wave isn't going to stop her ult from being able to be locked down onto the Lucian or any of the members of Naughty Nips. So we'll see if it ends up working out. It is very dominant in lane, so that could be what they're picking it for, to just get themselves to that mid game with a lead.
Now, as dominant as it is in the lane, it is not more dominant than the likes of a Braum. So Braum makes Nami real sad.
Yeah, Braum is able to land 1 Q pretty much. Ezreal will have a field day being able to E in there. However, it is possible that he does get poked out. I mean, ranged into melee, it's just naturally not a favorable matchup. Nami will have to be very careful with the tidal waves coming through, because Braum can just throw up the Unbreakable and turn into Poseidon, and the wave no longer exists. So,
yeah. We have a Swain. Ooh, Phoenix's Swain coming out. This man wants to win a game, I guess.
The signature pick. If Lysandre's banned, pick Swain seems to be the strategy time and time again. Into a Malzahar, though, that's kind of lane nullifying, no?
I don't know if it's as lane nullifying as it could be. I'm gonna think on it a little bit.
Okay. From what I think is going to be, just most of the time they're just going to go ahead and go for the wave clear. Once Malzahar hits level 6, that is an extremely potent lane for Vi to go ahead and gank. He's not opting into the Ignite though, so a little less kill pressure than I'd like to see. But I guess just playing it safe, wants to take the heal, maybe go for some more aggressive trades against the teleport lane of Swain. But Naughty Nips running the double TP. Oh no, switches the teleport at the last second. Okay, so these guys are pretty much just going to farm it out and hope for team fights.
Yeah, honestly, I also don't think that Malzahar ulting this way in early game is or level 6 is a really good target. I think he's more better off pushing into the Swain and looking for a roamer on bot lane, especially with the likes of the Braum and the Ezreal, and getting the Ezreal into a better position to survive the Lucian if need be. Because I know Swain can always hit R as if he's prepared for the Malzahar to get into a position, and the extra HP that he gains will also like heal him a bit and make it harder for him to just be killed. And honestly, by the time that he's 6, he might have backed early and have a little bit of HP, maybe almost had his catalyst, depending on when he's able to back, or if any level 1 or 2 shenanigans happens. Speaking of, do we see any level 1, 2 shenanigans with the Braum?
It is possible that they go ahead and maybe try and sneak up into the bottom bush, maybe just get down some early vision for Vi, so that way she can navigate around the Kayn, maybe just kind of see what his game plan is, ward up for the lanes. Both these junglers want to just hit their 6, get their ultimates. Kayn wants to get a little bit of poke off against the Braum and the Alawi. I don't see him wanting to go for Shadow Assassin at all here. So maybe even trading or trying to find the Vi in the jungle just to get some trades off, trying to get some of those stack points up.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, this is like a pretty decent game for Kayn. He can gank just about every single lane. He might look around mid, but if he goes around mid, it's going to be more to be a counter gank. But him going topside and bot lane gives him a lot of freedom in what he wants to be, what he wants to do. Because he can easily go into the Braum. He can also go into the Alawi to get the Ross that he really wants for this team. The knockup will be invaluable, especially with the likes of the Swain here, the Lucian, the Nami. All of these knockups that TCs will be delightful for their team.
No, absolutely. He does have the setup this game, which is something that I don't think he had enough of in the previous game. He still somehow managed to turn out 8-0, so maybe he will see an even better performance with the setup. I just can't emphasize enough, though, how easy next All-Stars comp is to play right now. Because almost every single champion is just go ahead, press R, we're all going to do a ton of damage, and a lot of the single target lockdown as well. Whoever's in the front of the fight with no designated tank, the Aurelia is not going to be able to survive a full-length Malzahar ultimate once all these champions are on top of her.
And you really have to hope that Braum can play out the stand beside me, or stand behind me, the shield or the unbreakable. I can know my words. Words are hard. Will be able to block the wave as soon as it comes out, because Nami's going to be looking to save that wave when Malzahar gets that ultimate down, or right after Alawi uses her ultimate, so that they can just CC them as long as possible so they're not getting the damage down. Obviously, that's going to be the optimal thing for 9ips. They have a very clear idea of who they want to stop and what they need to stop, and if Malzahar's R gets stopped, or Alawi gets kited out with their R on, like, they do not have as much damage as they want. You just really hope that Ezreal can just be like the god you need him to be, and just jump around the fight like a spastic monkey with Qs.
Yeah, a lot of these two compositions, it seems like 9ips really want to go in, get on top of everybody, and try and do as much damage as possible in a kind of like an AoE setting. Whereas we see next All-Stars here, a lot of their champions are just like, no, we're going to stop you with this line, this ultimate, this ability. You're going to stay in place, we're going to keep you right in front of us, and we're going to kill you one at a time and hope for the best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, and 9ips' team comp, as you mentioned before, really wants to be like in the middle of the fray. So they honestly have to play this just right, because you have to wait out the Alawi ultimate, you have to kite it out and then re-engage afterwards, and that's like their the biggest win condition. Because if Alawi gets to the middle or late game and she's like not abused as much as she could be in the top lane with the Kayn matchup, it's going to be pretty hard to deal with her in the middle game if she's able to get into that position where you guys all go in and she just hits E, she hits R, she gets the 6-man tentacles, and then you feel like you're in a weird hentai film.
I haven't seen a Conqueror Alawi yet. I'm not sure how the interaction works with her E, but I assume it's probably busted, just judging off of most of the champs that are taking Conqueror right now.
I knew before, with Conqueror and a certain amount of AD at around level 16, you could kill somebody just by killing the E clone. So, now with that, the new Conqueror gives all the extra AD, and I'm now ensure it procs on the E as well, so all the damage you're getting from the E will be true damage and will be excessive, and the amount of AD she'll be getting will be real good. So, I'm excited.
Yeah, we do see both junglers opting for the electrocute. There was maybe an option or other two there, but yeah, both wanting the early game damage from that rune, and the Aerie coming out from the Malzahar, pretty standard. Phase Rush out of the Swain, Klepto Ezreal, Guardian Braum. Yeah, it just looks pretty standard across the map. No ignites up in the top lane, so there should be a lot of across the map plays, but will there really?
I'm looking forward to seeing if there is, and people are able to acquire the TP that they need for these team fight oriented style. However, I imagine that once the game starts to scale, this top lane is going to be very focused on how the early game goes, on who can get into the position to fight them. They both scale immensely well. They both have things to deal with the other if they're in a position that they're behind. So I look forward to seeing how that is going to come out here. I'm also questioning. I see Luck Distella has opted for the Electrocute. I know a lot of buy mains have also been opting for Hail of Blades to the extra attack speed that you get with your Q, and then the E or the auto WE and procs that you can get afterwards is really strong, and I'm pretty interested to not see that.
Yeah, I know there is multiple options you can take, but here we are as we get into game number one. Pretty line of scrimmage start here. Everybody staring off at each other. No early game cheese going to happen here. What team is going to come out with the early game lead? It seems like that's going to be what we look at here to dictate a lot of how this mid game is going to go, because both these comps you just see snowball potential pretty much coming out of every lane. Is Lucian able to just go ahead and dominate the Ezreal early, or is the Braum really just going to keep the Ezreal alive, get him to that 2 to 3 item point, and then Ezreal just takes over the mid game with the Qs?
Yeah, honestly, it's going to be pretty exciting. I just looking at team comps. I know we mentioned that like NAS is looking pretty good, but I don't know if they have the consistent amount of CC that their team truly needs to set up the likes of this Alawi or the Malzahar to kite them out as well as they need to. So I'm looking forward to seeing how NN can play this, and I think it'll be very interesting to see. As we just
I do agree.
A little bit of trading coming out. Don having a little bit of a ye old lag, but it's fine. But that top lane matchup is having a lot of fun, huh?
Yeah, a lot of trading going down. They both do have the refillable, so I do expect just a lot of not nitpicking, but a little bit of minor trades going here back and forth. Eventually, one of them will run out of the corrupting cloud first, and that's really when we'll start to see will the junglers look topside to add that extra bit of pressure. Because I don't think just straight outright either one of them has the solo kill potential just yet.
Now, I think this is very interesting. The Kayn opted to get a bot side leash rather than doing the red, or the Raptors red Krugs. Words are hard, and then going back and going immediately top lane to try and get some early Wrath stacks, especially.
Oh, we do see a little bit of fighting Chef, fighting all the way inside the minions, and the tentacle goes ahead and hits him one too many times. I've seen that in a video before, and he goes ahead, falls down for the first blood, and there's your early game lead.
Yeah, but it was a death moan, not the moans you're used to, Don. So, with that in mind.
Yeah, again, here we go, automatic trading into the bot lane, but the Unbreakable is going to stop most of that. All lanes here just kind of going flat out against each other.
Lots of trading, as we do see some aggressiveness in the mid lane as well.
Flash busting out immediately out of Zui, not wanting to take the third proc on that one, which is for the best. Lucas Stella there for a pretty nice gank.
Yeah, really good there. Kayn a little bit slow, not able to get there just in time to counter gank, and that is kind of unlucky. But with that in mind, Kayn, though, is in a good position to get this farm going and maybe help out this top lane. However...
but immediately the repaint gank comes in. No wards were placed down, and Vi just walks up there for a really easy gank off of the flash Q. But we have a pause coming out. Not sure if there was a little bit of a lag situation there, but already looking like an amazing start to next All-Stars at 3 minutes and 44 seconds. Oh, a 900k gold lead. Or sorry, 900 gold lead.
Whew, that would be a big ass gold lead. Goddamn. But honestly, I think the jungler's pathing has been like very interesting this game, and honestly something that I think I should have talked a little bit more about. I think the Kayn went for a bit of a mistake to go for this very greedy pathing, shall we say, to go for this pathing that would try and get him as into level 6 as soon as possible, but he's giving up a lot of pressure, and his team really wants to get this early game pressure that we talked about in the champion select. And I think he definitely needed to be around the red side and then force something out of that with the red buff. And then around top lane, mid lane wasn't the worst spot to gank, especially because I saw a great interaction with the Swain E, as if it passes through, takes off the shield, but then it's long enough that the cleanse part of it where it like doesn't get the root, and he can pull right easily into him, and it was going very nicely for Phoenix in the mid lane.
It was going nicely until he took one too many punches to the face, and it's going to be a little bit before he's able to recover from that, because now Malzahar basically just has the free shove until he hits that level 6 mark, which is what he was looking for.
And that's going to put Swain into a very awkward spot here. He's going to have to play his lane a lot more defensive, as you mentioned. As once he hit 6, he would have been a bit healthier, a bit harder to kill, but now he's a bit behind, and now Malzahar's going to have the advantage and the early level advantage. So that should be very interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah, and just so to kind of like the worst way things could possibly start. Just 2 kills going down in the solo lanes for Naughty Nips. We do see a gank here coming out onto the top side. Can Yongdom go ahead and land the slow? He does. The tentacle lands though, and he is going to have to run away from that one. But he does get a couple raw stacks, so start charging it up slowly but surely. Chef Senpai's lane is shoving though, and that's going to be a problem for him.
Yes, it is. Especially, well, Vive right now is on the bot side of the map. Probably look to go to the Krugs, to the Raptors, maybe, or Krugs to a bot lane gank. I'm not entirely sure what his plan is, but he can also back and come top lane as it shows, but we're going to see something around the bot side, I think.
It is possible. I don't think there's too much setup yet until Braum gets the ultimate or until the Vi unleashes the ultimate. And also all sums are up in the bot side, so they should be pretty safe for now getting the river ward down.
Yep, honestly, good timing from them, understanding that I believe Phoenix is able to call the roam from Malzahar that he was coming down, and they bot lane played it a bit safe and played it afraid, and that's exactly what they needed to do here.
Yeah, mid seems to have pressure now, but because of the bot pressure, I don't think Vi will be able to just go ahead and outright solo this dragon. Yongdom is in the area, but I don't think he's going to check. Vi might get this mountain for free.
A level 4 Vi can very easily do dragon upon just having the jungle item. It's very easy for her as long as she doesn't get face checked, because if Kane walks into here, she gets real scared real quick. Ooh.
He does look like he's going to be walking into the river. Are we going to see what happens? Dragon's at 1300 HP, and he immediately jumps down onto Luke Destelli. Yongdom taking the full charged Q, though. He is going to have to come out of here. Going towards the Ezreal is the wrong way, and the Malzahar ultimate is coming out, and you are suppressed. Unable to do anything, and next All-Stars is going to go ahead and pick up the free mountain. He didn't have the help of any of his lanes there.
It got collapsed on. Was able to find Vi, but Vi was managed to be very healthy in that taking the dragon, which is very, very good. And then just able to finish it off. Malzahar did the first roam, able to hit R onto Yongdom and just puts it, makes him really sad, tells him you don't get to play League of Legends right now, and you hate to see it.
We do see an all-in coming out from the top side. I don't think Chef wins this one. Is he able to dodge and weave his way out of here? Both of them just going to go ahead and walk away. Flash being blown on the Aurelia. They decided a gentleman's agreement there, and neither wanted to finish each other off.
Yeah, I don't think Alawi could because of how low and no mana she had.
Going for the flash smite down onto Best Anime. He does get the electrocute down, and he does get the kill. That's a really nice pickup for a Kane that needs Rost as fast as possible in this game.
I agree. Honestly, worth.
No, 100% worth, because his team's falling behind in the lanes. He needs to be able to find something to get for himself.
And get himself into that mid-game spike. As soon as he hits Rost, you know how strong that champion is and how easily he can play around the Vi, especially because the Q is going to be charging up. You're walking really slow. You want to hit the Kane, you're going to have to Q to the side. And that means that all of your damage is not going to be used because Kane can just easily hit the W and just boop. And you do not have a good time anymore. And the Kane will just out-trade you and just be able to kite you around.
Now, he does get the level 6 here now, despite the earlier misfortunes at the Dragon Pit. Vi is still looking to get her level 6. Her first ultimate, I think, will really dictate how quickly next All-Stars moves into this mid-game. Because right now, Naughty Nips, despite having the mishaps in lane, they're still keeping up in farm, which is the big thing.
I imagine, though, that we're going to see Vi coming right down to the bot side as soon as she gets this red buff. She is 6 now, but I imagine she wants red buff first and then coming around bot lane. And there's not really a lot that they can do to stop a Vi gank. Ooh.
Yeah, she should know that Vi or Nami doesn't have flash. We do see a small all-in here. I don't think it's going to lead to anything. They were trying to go ahead and get the Braun passive off onto Lucian, but Read or No Ban Please takes the worst end of the trade on that one. But was this all just a bait so Vi could sneak into the bot bush? The Q is starting to be charged, and that is going to be a dead fish. The Q does miss, but she does have the Assault and Battery. It's starting to go down on, and the Ezreal ultimate lands. We do have a counter gank here coming out from Yongdom. Is he going to be able to finish off any one of these kills? The Braum slow is landing. Will he get the concussive blows blown down off of him? But Ezreal is actually the one that ends up dying here. Mixed Veggies going and Eing into finishing off that kill. And overall, worth for next All-Stars, but Naughty Nips answer back with the kill.
Yeah, honestly, really good play there. I saw that that mini all-in trying to get something to happen was not able to get the fight super going in the favor of next All-Stars. However, Vi was coming for that gank. Yongdom was not fast enough on the counter gank there, and then using his flash topside prevented him from finishing off the Vi and then getting into the middle of the backline, able to get as much damage in towards his Rust, and not even able to get his ultimate off in that fight as he got CC'd by the Braum.
Slight misplay there that the charging up punch did not hit on the Nami. Oh, are they gonna get caught out here? The shield is going the wrong way, but it doesn't seem to matter. The point and click ability comes out, and Mixed Veggies is going to fall down to that one. This Malzahar is getting fed, and that is another fish to go along with the meal. Bot lane, as you called it, just getting punished here. But before I finish, though, again, coming down onto the top side, can Best Anime go ahead and 2v1? Almost pulls it out, but the fight's not quite over. Is Zooey gonna be able to get anything here? I think he needs to just go away. He does have the ultimate. Will he go ahead and unleash it? He does. The stopwatch comes out, but he is 4v1 right now and still manages to pick up the kill. I don't think they have anything left to go ahead and trade down onto him, or am I wrong? The health bars are ticking. Everybody's in river. He tries to go ahead and pick up another kill, but the Braum shield comes out just at the tick of time, and we've seen 2 Ezreal ults since the action has stopped. And I finally have a minute to breathe. What all just happened?
Honestly, like, crazy things happened. Bot lane played a bit too aggressive. The next All-Stars are feeling like they wanted their all-star meal. They got the sushi, they got the veggies that they had and that they ordered, and that was great. Malzahar just looks over and he just loves looking at that dish, catches them both out with the point and clicks. They both die. Yongdom is able to get a good thing happening on the top side as and gets this decent 2v1. That Best Anime was able to trade a kill there, so that was really good for him and not very much ideal for Nani. However, Yongdom getting very close to Ross with that damage that he was able to do and damage onto the top side tower. And Zooey feeling himself, feeling this Burb man can go in there and try and do what he can, able to make some decent plays there, but you're 1v4, you're level 8 right now. You did not have really much of a chance. You do make some good things happen. The Unbreakable comes out, stops you from getting your second kill. The Phase Rush almost keeps you alive, but you dodge back into the Ezreal ult, and that was the fight.
Yeah, that was just so much action coming out on different sides of the map, and it just looked kind of uncohesive from the side of Naughty Nips, trying to do too many things at once. And whereas the skirmish potential of next All-Stars composition, I think just really shines there.
I agree. I definitely think that Zooey, though, definitely would have had a better time staying to the mid lane, trying to push towards the Malzahar, get the minion advantage. Was already late to that whole action as Malzahar had to the advantage on the roam. So at that point, as much as like you would like to be there, if nobody's there with you, there's no point in trying.
Yeah, and with the Rod of Ages start with the Swain, you're really not able to have too much of an impact yet. I mean, you're buying a stacking item. Base stats, you don't really have too much going for you yet. You were able to fall behind in lane, so Chef has to be a little bit careful here, falling down to half health just off of lane poke.
Yeah, honestly, I'm looking top lane. I'm like, I've seen this movie before. However, they do have a little bit of action. Kane may be trying to get something in the top side again. His Best Enemy is using a lot of mana here.
Yeah, using a lot of mana, but is able to go ahead and get out of the gank. Does blow his flash, so the potential repeat gank. I believe Yongdom did have Ross now. I might have missed off, but
he did have Rost, and honestly, a decent time to have Rost. Not like super fast, but has it at least before 13 minutes, so you know he's at least doing well. He's at a really strong point in the game. He really wants to make something happen. And honestly, getting something happening topside to get Chef Senpai into a better position.
Yeah, trying his best, but because he is shown topside, next All-Stars immediately answer with another dragon, and that is 2 Mountain Drakes stacking up very nicely, and coming into the Baron and the objectives to come is going to be really good for them.
Yeah, I agree. They have such a crazy Baron taking team as well, with the likes of Malzahar, Vi, Ezreal. Like, I don't know what you do here. If they are able to get into the position to get into that fight, you do not really have a lot of poke to dissuade them from wanting to get into the Baron pit.
No, what I would like to see here now from next All-Stars is just to capitalize down on that league. Oh, Nami Bubble getting blocked, though, from the Unbreakable. Slight missed timing, but nothing else comes out. That's all they blow for the wave, and they're able to survive another day in the bot lane. But as I was saying, what I would like to see from next All-Stars is just to be able to... They have a 3k gold lead right now at 13 minutes, which is really sizable, and 2 Mountain Dragons. So I would just like to see them continue to push that lead with their ultimates, using the Malzahar. As I'm talking about it, they're going to go ahead and do it. Will he be able to land the Unbreakable? It doesn't look like it, but is the Vi actually getting caught out here? He is. Mixed Veg is going to go ahead and the kill, but all the suppressions coming down, landing down onto Yonkdom, and he is going to go ahead and fall. Mixed Veggies, can he survive under tower? Veggies and Sushi's trying to battle back. We do have Zooey coming down here for the chase. He's going to go take out the Braum. Can he go ahead and take out the Ezreal as well? Sushi is on the menu for the Malzahar as he goes down to 4-0, almost dying to the tower, but not quite. And Mixed Veggies is able to pick up another kill there. Huge pickup for the AD carry of Naughty Nips.
Yeah, honestly, fantastic. And remember when I mentioned that whole interaction with how, like, Vi wanted to go into Rust, and then Rust just goes inside of her, and then just nothing really you can do about it? Yeah, we get to see that in action. As much as, like, next All-Stars really needs to be able to force their lead and keep it going, they don't need to be, like, going into the jungle blind and trying to make a catch on something that you don't really have full capacity to win just yet. They're right underneath their tower. Their bot lane has a better track there. You have to be careful about that.
Yeah, that looked just a little bit forced by Luke Destella, maybe just a little bit gung-ho, trying to propel his team a little bit farther forward than he has at the moment. But yeah, like you said, just a little bit too much, too quick, and Naughty Nips get to breathe for another couple minutes now because of that.
Gets him a little bit back into the game. Still not great. Mixed Veggies, though, was in a great spot to do what he can for his team here, and hopefully Naughty Nips can play around their AD carry well enough to get him into a really strong position. If I can see a little bit more action coming around, as soon as we get that Black Cleaver coming from Yonkdom, I imagine that we should see a lot more action in the way that the team fights will be going a little bit more in favor of Naughty Nips.
Yeah, we see the Black Cleaver wanting to come out from the Kayn. We also see the Black Cleaver wanting to come out from Mixed Veggies. I feel like once they hit that 2-item spike for each one of their champions, they'll be in a better spot to fight. But it would just have to be extremely coordinated because of the point-and-click abilities from Next All-Stars.
Yes. Ooh, man. Best anime, though, pushing in directly into Chef Senpai on repeat. He's not having the greatest luck pushing down the tower, but Chef Senpai is feeling the rush of these tentacles.
We do see a repeat gang coming down onto the top side. Best Anime does not have his he does not have his flash available, but I don't think he needs it. The tentacles are coming down and he's getting hit by every single one of them. Pulls out the double kill, 2v1, no jungle assistance needed. Best Anime putting on a clinic in the top lane.
Best anime or best hentai, because frankly, that's what I thought I just watched.
It's you gotta dodge those tentacles or land one of the CC abilities. They almost had him down at 2 points during that fight, but as soon as they go ahead and hit, he gains all of his HP back. The Conqueror really coming through, the 10% healing, the healing just off of Alawi's abilities, and that's what you can do with a lead on Alawi.
Yeah, honestly, level 11, you no longer really want to gank the Alawi unless you have 3 people, and even then if you have 3 people, it's still sketchy.
Yeah, they need to send a little bit more maybe next time for that. Someone needs to buy an Executioner's. We're going to need some anti-healing at some point during this game. We're going to need a Morello's, but is he just going to go ahead and die, or Mixed Veggies really getting served up? And then with the fish, does he land the Q? They both miss! The flash coming out of the Braum. Sushi lives another day. But 2v2 in there, in the bot lane. As you talked about it in Champ Select, Braum does not make Nami's life easy whatsoever. And Ezreal can just follow up on anything.
Honestly, Next All-Stars really liking the veggie platter. However, Sushi, though, is like a grocery store sushi, and you just kind of wanted to miss that one. So that's kind of unlucky, as we do, however, going to get them this first tower, I think, in the bot side of the map for Next All-Stars.
Yeah, with the double mountain taking down that objective quite easily. This is going to be 2 towers to 1 for them, propelling their gold lead to 5k pretty much. And we do have another dragon for them if they want it. The map seems to be theirs right now.
They do have the ability to get it, but I think the bot lane has to back here. If I did just back, I think Naughty Nips can rush it if they so feel inclined. However, I don't think that they feel comfortable enough right now in their position to be able to do that.
They're probably going to go ahead into the river here, sweep out the vision, clear out the pink wards, just in case they're going for the setup. But Malzahar ult does come down. There comes the Vi ultimate. How do you get out of both of those abilities? The flash is blown from Swain, but it's just not enough as he gets chased down and beaten. 404 on Math Geek as the game seems to be gifted to him. But Vi coming in for the face check has no vision on half of the team of Naughty Nips, and they keep getting this breathing room allowed by Next All-Stars.
The Reaping Slash is a really fun ability to face check into. Honestly, I would have liked to have seen Swain ult as soon as he flashed, rather than waiting and the Vi ultimate coming out. As soon as he gets that ultimate, the extra HP he gets, he might have been able to even stay alive there. It would have been close, but I think he could have stayed alive.
Yeah, due to the face check, they do go ahead and pick up the first Dragon. Ocean, not the best at this point in the game, but if they are able to get the Baron, maybe they can pull out some sieges later on. But Next All-Stars did answer with a mid tower. So right now we are 3 towers, 2-0, and just an ever so growing gold lead for Next All-Stars in this game.
Yeah, it's Next All-Stars is feeling like the now All-Stars right now. They're doing quite well into Naughty Nips. Naughty Nips is looking to get that advantage that they can get, but right now it's really hard to squeeze it out. They do, however, have these long-lasting fights that we mentioned, but we haven't really been able to see them, and they need to kite out this Alawi ultimate. Or Chef Senpai needs to use his TP and make a play across map.
Alright, so here we are, Braum going to go ahead and lane with the Alawi here as they start chipping down this tower, already at half HP on the tier 2. Chef's going to need some help at some point if he expects to hold on to this one. We do see the reinforcements starting to come in here. We do see the knockup coming down onto the Braum, pulled back underneath the tower. He should be falling down, and he is going to, but the Alawi ultimate starting to come in. We see the healing time and time again. Will they ever learn? It looks like a Flash is going to be able to just get him out of here, but he's not. The shutdown going down onto the Naughty Nips 80 carry is very good here, but meanwhile on the other side of the map we have the Herald busting down. I don't think that's a teleport he wants to finish. Straight into the suppression. Shelly is gonna hit him a couple of times, or just kind of watch. That's fine too. I think spectator bug, he just walked past him.
But, it was just like later.
Really bad teleport coming out from Zui there, and he cost him his life.
He thought that he could get something going for his team there, maybe be able to save the tower. Has no ultimate. You have no Zhonya's. You don't really have the potential to stay alive into them. Honestly, Malzahar just looks at you funny. You do not have a good time anymore. You have not paid the QSS tax, so you do not get to survive.
No, he doesn't get to, and Next All-Stars taking things on the top side of the map, taking things on the bot side of the map. Naughty Nips try to answer one side, they take more on the other. They're kind of just seem all over the place, trying to respond rapidly to too many threats coming at them at once.
I really want to see Naughty Nips be cohesive enough and make like an actual play, as we see Mixed Veggies getting a bit handsy.
He is the one saving grace for Naughty Nips right now at 5-2-1. He's decently farmed. He's trying to get his items. He had to go ahead and finish the QSS. Everybody has to pay the tax of Malzahar being a champion. But he is the only one on that team with a QSS who has the luxury for that item. Everybody else is free reign for Malzahar to just go ahead and walk up to.
Yep. Zui's getting a bit aggressive. Honestly, has gone to the Leandries rather than the Morella, which I really would have liked to have seen because the healing denial. Are we going to see him fall down again? He doesn't have flash. The suppression comes out, and that is just another kill. This has been from level 4 on, just repeat after repeat, the same strategy. But why? Well, don't fix it if it ain't broke. Yeah, it turns out that if you punch the crow guy really hard, he dies.
The wings don't flap anymore. He's dead.
The beak is broken. He is not having a good time, though. However, we have the Space Aids coming out.
Oh, the Flash Q coming out onto the Vi, but she's not done. The Assault and Battery coming out as well. Mixed Veggie somehow able to survive all that damage. The rest of Next All-Stars really trying to run out underneath the tower without any minions. Math Geek is gonna fall down. Shutdown heading over to, that's a huge gold amount. Heading over to Nami, actually. We'll be able to pick up some pretty nice items with that one. A little uncoordinated there, as 2 free kills go over to Naughty Nips.
Yeah, the sushi, just like the one that you didn't really want, but you got it anyways because you really feeling the sushi, it gets you later. You didn't prepare for it, you're feeling it now. No,
not at all. The fight's not over yet. A little bit of an overextension here from the Next All-Star roster, and Naughty Nips are cleaning up. I will say this, although extremely sloppy in the responses, they're taking what Next All-Stars is giving them.
Correct. Also, I really wanted to mention it before. Mixed Veggies had an excellent QSS out of the Assault and Battery. As soon as the knockup happened, QSS flashed out of it and was able to kite out by still during the animation, which was the only reason he survived.
No, absolutely. Very well mechanically played from him, taking the Flash Q to the face and the Assault and Battery, and somehow still living. Quite impressive. As he does finish up the Black Cleaver there, he is honestly just time and time again the one saving grace of this roster. Is he going to be able to pick up enough free kills here and there to eventually become a force in these team fights to come?
I look forward to seeing how it is. He can really easily cut out this fight. It's very hard for Vi to get on top of the Q. As much as you can get the flash Q going into the Lucian's face, he can also use the Relentless Pursuit to get out of it or get away from it very easily. He has paid the QSS tax, so Malzahar does not really want to ult him. He can use that to place the pull down, but it's not really ideal.
This is the third Mountain Dragon heading over for next All-Stars. As they go ahead and secure it, they immediately turn the fight down onto Chef Senpai. The Assault and Batter coming out. He is locked up. He does get the ultimate down, but it is too little, too late. Zooey trying to find something to get here, but it doesn't look like he'll be able to do much. In fact, he gets and stays a little bit too long, gets stunned up from the Braum passive. Immediately, the Malzahar ult comes out, and he is going down. Yongdom is in the wrong place. 4v1 does not want to be here. He somehow, I would say get over the wall, but he doesn't make it all the way. Gets followed over by the Ezreal, and he is taken down immediately. I don't know how Mixed Veggies is surviving these fights, but he is melee form on the Lucian and just trying to pull back little bits of gold for Naughty Nips, but nothing is able to come out there. And that is the third mountain over to next All-Stars after all that.
Geek prioritizing his spells too much rather than giving that one auto attack to get the Braum passive to kill Lucian. Honestly, triggering.
It's just he's just a wizard in these fights. He somehow survives. He gets the right angle. The right things are happening. The veggies are just, there's too many of them. Nobody wants to eat their veggies.
Nobody wants to eat the veggies. This man is just able to survive because of that. However, though, I will talk about how the Yongdom able to survive so long and almost able to survive if his Reaping Slash is able to go off before he died. He did, however, opt for a Tiamat third, which I don't think is what he needed right now.
No, I do not either. I will say, despite all of this, the one thing Next All-Stars is getting is Dragons. They have a ton of damage to take this Baron instantly if they wanted to. If Naughty Nips are ever sleeping on it for half a second, it's gone. The gold lead, however, unchanged. Although certain members are getting more fed on Next All-Stars, the same thing is happening for Naughty Nips. Lucian keeps picking up these kills. They might go ahead and try and force down onto this Nami. The Vi is getting stunned up very heavily here. Mixed Veggies going and gonna execute with the Ardent Blaze. Redemption coming out, and that's a free kill just from the over-aggressive Vi.
Honestly, Vi didn't really like that bubble bath, but we do have still some more action coming up, but I don't know if there's anything cohesive just yet.
They are going to go ahead and try and siege here. Braum taking a little bit of damage from the culling, is able to block most of it with the Unbreakable. And like I said, Naughty Nips just keep getting breathing room gifted to them from Next All-Stars, and mostly on part due to Vi.
Yeah, Vi really overextending, trying to force these plays that nobody's really there to follow up just yet, but he has been going for it. We do, however, have some good split pushing right now. We have a 3-in-1 coming out right here. Vi being dead, obviously, but maybe Naughty Nips can use this to get some vision around the top side, which is what they really and desperately need, because 3 Mountain Dragons, it ain't no joke.
No, and they do have best anime down on the bot side with the teleport to keep pressuring Chef down onto this bot lane. We've seen multiple times he's walking right up to that inhib tower and nobody can really stop him. There's no anti-healing on Naughty Nips except for the Ignite. And he has a Death Dance and Conquer and he's Alawi.
Yeah, and he's building a Spirit Visage, so that man is going to be healing a lot. And Chef Senpai, you really need this execution, but you also need that Sterix. I understand you are not having the best time, but somebody needs that Executioner's Calling. Somebody has to pay that other tax. Please.
Yeah, Alawi just being an absolute menace and shoving in wave after wave after wave into this Irelia. Chef really not able to get anything off here. Another tentacle just landing. He's trying his best to clear out these waves, and that's all he can do for his team. As the Baron is started here, they could go ahead and decide to finish it if they want, but it's a 4v4 right now. Naughty Nips seem to have the angle as we look at the fight. Braum's already taken down to half health. Mixed Veggies going in onto the Malzahar, QSSing the Malzahar ulti, but he's not have anything else left for the Vi. 2 ultimates blown onto him, and he falls down immediately. Redemption coming out a little late. The Alawi is here with the teleport, and it looks like this is just going to be a cleanup for Next All-Stars. The fight's going in multiple directions. Somehow Zooey goes ahead and picks up a kill. And the fight's not over yet, though. The Braum Q does land down onto the fish, and it looks like she is going to go down, but it's not done quite yet. The chasing is coming out, and Irelia gets destroyed.
Remember when I mentioned that level 16 E Conqueror?
That is absolutely disgusting.
By the way, where'd your HP go? Haha! Yeah, so as we get to see that in full force, honestly, that was looking really good for Nanips for a little bit there. Yongdom was a little bit late there. Mixed Veggies flashed away from his team rather than towards Sushi, so Sushi was not able to heal him and keep him alive. And that was probably the only reason he died, because he played that immaculately, but he was too far off on the side and then flashed further away rather than towards Sushi and was just picked off because of it. And then Math Geek did, however, pay with his life. Mixed Veg is able to get that going for him. Chef Senpai trying to save his team, but was never able to do what he wanted to, as he just eats the tentacles. The E of the Alawi is so strong and so hard if you just get poked by it. It's not a good time.
Yeah, I mean, it was looking good for so long, but truly, somehow Best Anime was able to go ahead and get the teleport off, and that's when the fight started shifting. Somehow Mixed Veggies was in the front line against the Malzahar, against the Vi, and his team wasn't able to help him out there, and that's your key member that needs to stay alive. So either tell him to back off, or he needs 4 supports right behind him if he's going to go ahead and try and take down the back line like that.
Yeah, honestly, just needed a little bit more cohesion, a little bit of idea. If I was going from the side of Naughty Nips, still don't see that Executioner's calling coming out, and frankly, it's starting to get a little worrying.
Yeah, it's getting a little worrying now. We're 4 dragons to 1. The Baron dance is happening yet again. They are looking like they're starting it up. This is going to go down so fast with the 3-item Ezreal, with the 3 mountain dragons. Naughty Nips has to fight this, or the game is over. A really big wave gonna go ahead and hit here. The bubble landing down onto the Vi. She's almost dead. Naughty Nips are cleaning up this fight. This is exactly what they needed. Can they go ahead and take down Best Anime? It's Mixed Veggies versus the Alawi. The 2 carries of the team going head to head here, and that is the best case scenario for Naughty Nips to go ahead and take them off. They're not done. Are they gonna go ahead and clean up Best Anime? They look like they're going to, but as I say that, the healing just comes through. Too much healing, but Mixed Veggies isn't done. He's gonna go ahead. He's spell slinging his way back and forth in these fights. Somehow lives, and Naughty Nips 4 for 3 there. Somehow.
Yeah, that's honestly fantastic from side of Naughty Nips. Able to make that Baron play. The tanking of the Baron was just too much for them there.
Somehow the wave came through. The Vi, completely useless in that fight, being knocked up the entire duration of the fight. Already a 4v5 coming out, and that was exactly what Naughty Nips needed to buy a little bit more time in this game.
And that's all they really need to do, is to get that time is being bought for them. The Kane is getting to that late game point. Kane just does so
It doesn't look like it's going to matter here. Kane's not here for the smite. They immediately go ahead and teleport right back in onto the Baron. Falls down immediately. They lost vision of the objective for just half a second. Everyone reset a little bit too late. And there goes Next All-Stars immediately taking the Baron. How does this game end?
Honestly, the only way that this game ends is we really need to see something happening from the side of Next All-Stars where they can get a little bit more cohesion. Maybe if Naughty Nips is able to too hard, they get a little bit too comfortable with themselves. They get forced on too hard, and then Next All-Stars can very easily turn these fights. The Alawi tentacles, as we got to see, are very strong and hard to deal with. The counter engage and the counter pick and options that Malzahar provides by just hitting R and just picking out someone who's like in the middle of your team is very good for them. What we should hope to see, especially if Naughty Nips feels a bit more comfortable with themselves and tries to go super aggressive, as we've seen time and time again with Zooey.
Just taking a look at the item state here. We do finally have a Sterix coming out from the Aurelia. We do have a Zanya's and a fully stacked Rod of Ages coming from the Swain. Big Veggies trying to get as many items under his belt as possible. Finally has the Avarice Blade. Is going to be able to stop some of the healing. We've been talking about it this entire game. Somebody's finally done it. Can these items prevent this Baron Siege from happening? Frankly, with 3 Mountain Dragons, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, first tower already down onto the bot side as they go ahead and pressure down onto the inhibitor. Baron minions are slapping back and forth. Not a lot of wave clear coming out from this Naughty Nips composition, and we're kind of seeing it go into play here as they go ahead and just walk up and take the bot lane inhibitor, the most important inhibitor of the game, and they immediately are pressuring down onto the mid. This is going to be 2 inhibitors going down. for Naughty Nips. Next All-Stars, ruthless with this Baron push. They're taking everything. They're gonna maybe try and end the game here as they go ahead and shove in with these waves. Bot wave list a little bit behind. Naughty Nips, are they gonna go ahead and pull the trigger to keep letting them push up? Next All-Stars isn't done as they go ahead and start to push up here. Are they gonna be able to land anything? Best Anime trying to get a little bit of poke out, does get stunned up by the Swain. All we see is just poke being traded back and forth, back and forth. The waves are going to go ahead and crash. This is the first Nexus turret falling down. Somebody is eventually going to have to pull the trigger here, and one of these fights is going to blow out. Who is it going to be? We do see the knockup try to land down on from the Ross. The bubbles are landing, and here we go. Swain saying the one. He's going to be the one to make the call. We have the Unbreakable blocking all of the damage from the culling. The fight is going out huge. We do see Aurelia into the middle of the fight is getting blown up. No one is able to do anything, and just too much damage is on the Next All-Stars composition. And that is going to be the game going in favor of Next All-Stars.
Whew. Honestly, fantastic play from Next All-Stars. Just getting that early game lead and just able to snowball it. Chef Senpai never really able to become unlocked because of the Alawi's just immense early game pressure that she had. Was able to get into a position to 2v1 basically and just continue winning out these top lane trades. Mid lane, that early gank and the repeat gank of the Vi, putting Zui into a very awkward position and not able to get the amount of HP or survivability in the lane that he wanted to against the Malzahar, and was time and time again punished for it. Mixed veggies and sushi were the highlight of Naughty Nips. They were not.
A little bit of lag there from my color as he disappears randomly. Might have had a little bit of a DC, but yeah, just incredible game coming out for both teams. Quick look at the stats. I mean, we just see so much damage. Yeah, Alawi truly just all over the place there. Just really an unstoppable force that game. We just saw it in that last team fight. Was able to get the ult down. As soon as the tentacle started landing, everybody started melting. And we're gonna cut the analysts off a little bit short here as we try and catch up and bring you guys over on into our next game.
Oh, wow. I was just about to chime in saying, yeah, he just left, so I thought I'd chime in. But yeah, next game. We'll be right back, folks. We'll be right back. no time to waste whatsoever. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Army Overlord, and welcome to the next game of the Day 2 situation here. I'm here to replace X-Dawn. Your color caster is going to be... right. I said your color caster is going to be... Quite sorry, I was muted.
And I am Bosslo. I was here for the last game. Here to, do round 2. Feeling it with a good old Army Overlord. The good old season cast. As we're going to get right into this. MVP, though, will not be having any bans. They're going to have 2 E-subs and will not be having any bans because of this.
Ah, yes, I was just about to explain that, but thankfully you did that for me, man. I really appreciate that.
I got you, Army.
Real appreciate that very much, fam. Now, because we're not seeing any of the bans for the MVP side, that leaves open a massive amount of possibilities. As FK have got to make the most out of this now with the open space room to do just about anything they want for picks.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting what they're going to do, but they are blue side on the side of MVP. Maybe they can steal away one of those OP picks. Honestly, pretty surprised we didn't see anything about a Rek'Sai in the last game.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe we get to see, maybe Freakout 960 plays it, we'll get to see an early pickup or something along those lines. I know Rek'Sai is real strong right now. Do have the Kayn the Yasuo and the Israel band as hindsight. Yasuo, not allowed to play that. Reasons why.
Well, we can only hope for the best for MVP, as they're going out without even a single one. So that's quite tragic for them. They're going to be going into the very first pick here. Jimothy going to be the top laner for this one. I've hung out with this guy quite a bit. I can't wait to see what his top laning performance is going to be. But he'll be probably, I'd imagine, picking either the jungle or the ADC first. Let's see what happens.
It'll be pretty interesting. We do have a Nunu lock-in almost immediately, and frankly, I like that, because, Nunu and Willup is adorable. And a Scion! Army, I don't think you know anything about that champion.
Honestly, it's a foreign element, that Scion. If I sometimes I just call him Shun, because it's just, Because
it's very hard.
Yeah, it's a very difficult name, very difficult champion. One of the most
and he
difficult.
has no bottom lips.
And indeed.
So you just and a Lee Sin. Very interesting to see that.
This guy's blind. The other one doesn't even have a lower jaw. My goodness. Talk about already pre-crippling yourself before the game even starts.
Yeah, MVP, going against the lame. I'm sure MVP got this. Their name is MVP
So we're already bringing in... Children are already brought into this. A zombie's been brought into this. And a blind guy. So far, very interesting teams. Starting out right off the bat.
Yeah, these team comps are very cohesive, as we see Freakout 960 picking the Urgot, the other classic top laner, into the Scion.
Well, let's hope that will work out for him. Oh, wait a second. Seems it was not supposed to be Urgot.
Frankly, I was excited. We had a little kid. We had the guy with no lower jaw who screams really loud. We had the blind guy, and then we had the guy with no legs and chainsaws in his stomach.
Apparently that was supposed to be Galio, as it was explained by Ziguri. So that means Yasuo, aka Rengar, is currently saying that was supposed to be Galio. And also Zeke needs a new invite, because he's been, had to jump out for that exact reason. And now he's back. Should get right into the jam select in an instant. As it's kind of surprising seeing a Galio in this situation. I was expecting with the room they had to take something else, but it's time for the repeat of the champ select we just witnessed.
Yep, as we get the whole not banning ban phase again, so
Yes.
We're gonna see the Yasuo ban, we're gonna see the Ezreal ban, we're gonna see the Sejuani ban. We're gonna get right into that Nunu and Willup. We got the Scion, we got the Lee Sin, we got what we believe to be a Galio, as it was said by Zigri. So, look forward to that so far. Real beefy people coming up into this team comps.
Yeah, beefy already, playmaking as well. A Galio and a Nunu seems interesting. A lot of interesting engaging potential here. Let's see how it really all meshes well together. They're going to need something good to happen.
I agree. I really am interested by the Nunu and the Lee Sin matchup. That'll be very interesting to see. Both really like this early game power and this early game snowballing potential for their lanes. And the snowball, obviously, is a great joke. Ha ha ha. But the Lee Sin also does essentially the same thing with the ability to get in the middle of lanes very easily. His gank potential is very high. So that should be very interesting to see, especially what these junglers do in the early game.
So, I do find it quite interesting that they went with a Sedge, an Ezreal, and a Yasuo ban. It makes a lot of sense to try to really chip away at the late game potential that their opponents certainly have.
Oh, and we do have the final ban coming in. Rapid fire. Let's go. Pick phase now. Heck yeah. Got the Nunu coming in. Pretty excited. There it is. Nunu and Willip. I apologize.
Still, Time Slayer X. What a great name in general. I have to say for a Scion player. For a Shin player, of course, like Tenshin. It's Shin.
Yeah,
Yes.
of course. Can't speak very well. Has the lower lips. Kind of unlucky. The Galio has been picked out. Rico96 will be picking that up, but I believe that will probably go in mid lane or to the support. I've heard tall tales of Galio in the support role recently.
Really now? It's Tristana, by the way, being secured. So you're telling me this is actually a bot lane being secured?
I say that it is potential.
Ah.
No confirmation just yet. Rengar, I do know, also plays Galio as well. However, we are going to see the luxury of hindsight's melee form Tristana. And frankly, I'm excited. He does have a Galio and a Nunu, so he'll have at least have people that'll be right there on the front line with.
Morgana, which could possibly be the counter out to that Galio support possibility, as it is secured by Cashew Doodle. Now, Morgana is a bit of a flex. You can see Morgana used to either counter the Galio by whatever direction Galio is supposed to go, anyway. We might see it in any direction at this point, but we'll see what happens next. By the way, 0 bans, as you mentioned, for the Rengar is MVP team.
So, gonna be no bans again. Watch that timer tick down. The Morgana pick is a thing, and honestly, I like Morgana and Lee Sin a lot. It gives Lee Sin, if Lee Sin gets a black shield, it makes it a lot easier for him to pull off the insect plays if he's able to get in the position to do it. So, maybe look forward to Drakkar being the man for his team.
Still, it's a very difficult strategy to determine what exact comps are really going to be established here. Oh, interesting. So it looks like they're going to get rid of Tryndamere from this. So the possibility of a comp that is designed for a split is being targeted here quite a bit by the side of Fallen Kingdom.
Fallen Kingdom right now is going to be getting some interesting bans. Like, bans are kind of all over the place, but they really don't want to deal with these carry potential of the Tryndamere, the Yasuo, the Ezreal.
Yeah, it is quite wise to just get rid of comfort picks. Even if it doesn't really have a lot of synergy with each other, it's best to get rid of the comfort picks, and that's really, they just took one of every champion that is essentially of their primary role positions, which is a safe way to do it. Absolutely safe.
And take their number 1 champions out of the way. We do, however, see a Vladimir being hovered. We have the Vladimir picked up as well. A lot of magic damage coming in for our MVP.
Magic damage indeed. They got the late game Tristana. Although, let's see how everything really meshes well. The final picture be coming in. They're looking at Irelia here. And they will lock in that Irelia, as Jimothy will be playing some Irelia in the top side. So it looks to be a Galio being used as a support, as you mentioned, for this.
I'm pretty good at this game.
I mean, you're pretty knowledgeable at this game. I'll tell you that much.
I'm pretty excited as we get to see Cashew Doodle's pick into the Vladimir, which will be very interesting to see.
Indeed.
That has nothing to do with the cashew at all.
No, but he's a very round champion. So you're going into this with a zombie, a guy who's blind, a guy who's a little overweight, someone who's actually confident at this position, and somebody who likes yelling a lot. All right.
And the mid laner, drunk. Fantastic, but drunk.
And the mid laner's drunk.
I believe that is an Aurelia mid lane, though, so that's very interesting.
Yes. This is going up against a Vladimir, Nunu, Irelia, Tristana, and Galio. Couldn't think of a good reference for the rest of those other ones. But what I can say is it's going to be a lot of CC, but it's not going to be a very long amount of CC by the side of Rengar MVP. Nunu's knockup and roots are not very long. Galio as well can only hold you down for so long as well. And Aurelia, I don't even think you can count that as a stun, really. That's more like a stopping for like a second to talk about it, but then leaving. So.
Very interesting. Not a lot of CC, but a lot of damage on the side of our MVP, and hopefully that can carry them through, because frankly, I mean, really need that Gragas to get snowballed and really strong to really have the damage that he wants in this team. So it's going to be pretty reliant on Fallen King to play around the bot lane, especially with the strength of the Caitlyn Morgana lane. That lane is so strong. So we're going to have to probably see a lot of focus down on the bot side, especially with the likes of a Sion very easily able to come 6 and use his ultimate right there. I'm sure you could tell us all about that.
Oh, wait, you mean you tell me Sion can use an ultimate here? What does it do?
Alright, so he yells, choo-choo, or cowards, and then runs real fast right into the... And then when he hits you, it's a really big damage, does damage to objectives, towers, if he does hit that, and it also has a giant AoE knockup and a stun after, so you know.
So when Sion yells cowards, as you mentioned like a second ago, does he is it like he runs away from his enemies when he says that?
Yes.
Okay, I want to know if that's like official or not, because it sounds like it would be.
yeah, he yells cowards at them when he's running away.
Oh, okay, good. Sounds exactly like it's a part of the kit, you know? All right. Only when he does that, though, of course, as we know.
Of course. It's when you're playing it smart, you call them cowards.
Of course. To that point... To that point, it's going to be a very fun little situation for everybody to see how and where and what type of playmaking we're about to see in this game. Because one's got a catch comp style, with the Lee Sin, the Sion, the Gragas. The other's got a little bit of more of a weak lockdown style, which is more punishing on people who are really in the area of damage. But neither side really having a strong way to keep them in place. In fact, Gragas is more of a throw your ultimate in a spot where it could cause some separation. Morgana's going to have to be the biggest and most important target to land the CC this game, because if Morgana cannot, then this is going to be a very difficult game for them to really get the catching potential that they're aiming for.
I'm looking forward to seeing how our MVP plays his fights, because our MVP really just wants to get in the middle of all of them and just do all of their AoE damage. They have a lot of it and they plan to use it. You got the Tristana's E, the Tristana passive, Galio's AoE taunt, the Q is AoE as well. Aurelia is going to eventually have a Tiamat, so all of her single target damage will be converted to AoE a little bit. Nunu and Wallop just wants to get in the middle, CC, slow everything, and just yell real loud, give them snowballs, and have a snowball fight. Vladimir is just AoE and just loves it.
Indeed. So, our time has come. The spectator delay is over. It's time to decide and find out who deserves what could be the last game of the night. I've been hearing reports of Game 3 not being available. We'll find out for sure later in details, as the staff will let me know. But let's take a look at the points as we are just checking and looking at some of the stuff. And oh my goodness, how many points is that? Oh man, that's so many points inside. 71? That's crazy.
I don't even think I know anybody with that many, or with that high of Sion points.
I mean, that's crazy, honestly. I wish I had that many. Like, I mean, I kind of like him as a champion a little bit. I mean, I like his lore, but I don't know. I feel like I'll never be able to play that many points.
I believe in you, Army. I'm sure you'll get there one day.
Yeah, well, maybe one day.
We do, however, have a phase rush Vladimir, which I'm pretty sure is the standard for Vladimir nowadays, and he is. It should be very interesting to see how he plays around this matchup. To be able to kite around the Scion's very easily dodged skill shots.
Mm-hmm. Also, quite unlucky for me too. Forgot to switch the scene there. So no one gets to know how many points Scion had. He had 71, by the way, 71 K for that. It's pretty good.
Quite a lot.
Oh, I forgot about the running animation Gragas has now. Oh, that looks hard. He literally looks like a rambling toddler. Like his legs are just flopping around. It's almost ridiculous. Here we go. Just a little bit of light trade as Morgana goes for something to get some early cashola. Good stuff there.
I was going to ask, do we see a bit of level 1 shenanigans? And there was nothing, as Morgana just immediately gets the binding down. Nothing really comes out of it.
What in the world were they thinking about that Gragas run animation? Oh my goodness.
Wait, you don't like an adorable fat toddler running at you with a keg?
I love it in theory, but hate it in practice, that's for sure.
That's alright, maybe you just need more babies in your life. That's unlucky.
Maybe you just need more babies. Alright, well, this is quite the fun little stream we got going here.
Absolutely. I'm pretty interested. Gragas opted for the electrocute, which is pretty much what I expected him to go. He could have gone for the Comet in this lane, I think, and that would have been maybe a better way to do this with a lot of pokes that'll be coming out. But it's really looking to this all-in potential in that super burst AP Gragas, I'm assuming, with the electrocute. And I'm pretty interested to see how well he can play it.
We'll see how the Gragas mid situation works. You rarely see that as well, by the way. Usually it's either a jungler or you may see it in the top lane, but I haven't seen it in some time as a mid laner.
It's been quite a long time. Still see it as support occasionally as well, but honestly, it has a really strong laning potential. The Q is really good into Lex of Aurelia, but it has an attack speed slow as well. Has the ability to E out of the Aurelia during the Q animation and just completely deny the Q so she can't get the reset, and is just able to trade efficiently into her. So I look forward to seeing how that lane's going to play out, as we do really not a lot of super early game action.
Well, other than that, pretty intense trade. It looks to be Yasuo struggling to deal with that light trade against Gragas. Gragas is able to get really effective trades when he gets to level 3, because that's when he can really time his whole combo properly and just get a ton of damage to pile in real fast and really get a nice trade off. Oh, freak out! Big mistake! No health bar whatsoever! Drakkar, with a kick in the back of the head, takes off the kid, throws him on the ground, and then kills Nunu right after that. My goodness.
Honestly, you hate to see it, but frankly, Lee Sin couldn't even see it. Yasuo, though, really not liking this mid lane as the
Drakkar going for a big play against Aurelia in the mid side. The lockdown, the tower taking, trading was well effective. Cashew Doodle takes down the Yasuo off of that incredible tower dive synergy. Aurelia nowhere to go, deciding to use the flash in that one to avoid some CC, but couldn't seem to get away in the nick of time. Cashew well balancing tower aggro there, and they managed to take him out before any actual damage was done to either champion. What an incredible bind shot, and this could be the end of Hindsight. He's going to try to lock him down and hold him out with some CC, but he overcommits and ends up giving the kill off to Caitlyn. Ziggury, nowhere to go, will be taken down by Drakkar.
Hindsight, I don't know where you were rocket jumping. Your base is the other way, but you tried to get that kill on the Zerda. Zerda was full HP, and you were like 100 HP. Kind of unlucky, but honestly, lots of action happening all around the place now. Yasuo in a bit of stuck between a rock and a hard place, or a fat man and a blind man, as he just gets bullied underneath his own tower. And Lee Sin just walks down the map, is just able to get so much pressure for his team. A great binding that went right through a minion for reasons unknown, but able to get a good lead here for the red side. Fallen Kingdom really liking it.
The Scion definitely struggling heavily against the Vladimir, certainly having no way to just get him off of him. He's going to take what little CS he can and back away here.
Still
Lots
ahead
of
in
struggling.
CS.
Yes, he is, which is actually pretty good for his sake. As he's taking these trades, he better make sure he can survive long enough to continue to make these trades, continue to tank these trades, I should say.
Exactly. He will get the TP back to lane, which is exactly what he needs to do right now. Just kind of make it so he's able to get safely into the point where he can get some MR, and Vladimir's poke becomes inconsequential.
And it looks like Cashew's really timing out his, gets the electrocute last second. He's really getting a good hang of this combination of Gragas, and it's very healthy to see early that he's got a good mojo building up.
Yasuo's really going to have to prioritize some MR pretty early on here.
Early
As
Deadly looking a little trouble. Ziguri going to end up being caught for a brief second. Anyway, in the mid side, Yasuo is going to try to make the most out of it. Here comes the Nunu snowball. It just ended, but Cashew's got nowhere to go. He's going to try for something risky. His ultimate's online. He's going to force him into his own pre-prepped Q, and he takes him out with a double barrel combo. Meanwhile, Morgana takes out the Nunu on the long-range Q shot.
I saw it in slow motion. I watched Yasuo. He was thinking about going in. He did hit 6, or he didn't hit 6. He was just looking in. He wanted to get that ignite down. He wanted to get that little bit of damage so he can kind of secure that kill with the freak out there. However, Cashew Doodle was waiting. He was waiting, and that just throws the keg, puts right into the barrel, and you do not have a good time anymore. Cashew Doodle doing exactly what he needs to do on this champion to get the lead that he needs.
So, by the way, Vlad still has yet to back as Lee Sin's beginning to head up topside. Jimothy certainly allowing the wave to be pushed in for the time being. Combination of CC was looking well. Electrocute proc still goes off by Gragas in the mid side. Another catch. This currently Deadly is making every bind count.
Yeah, currently dead is I'm trying to make the 80 carry currently dead, and it's not going too well. Rocket Jump has the the Rocket Jump has been able to keep himself alive and get out of a little bit of these sticky situations, except for that one situation where the entire the jungle showed up and able to force that play on top of them right as that great binding was very well timed. So very interesting right now as we get to see all of Fallen Kingdom is really ahead. The Gragas is just having so much freedom in this mid lane. It's making a lot of the rest of the map have a harder time because of it.
So far, it is a stable game, but I don't know how long that's going to be, as Jimothy in the top side's trying to get the wave back over towards the mid side. Sion not trying to shove it in, instead canceling some auto attacks. He's going to get some light trading. Meanwhile, nowhere to go this time. Ziguri gets caught out for a brief second. The trap was not dropped in the nick of time. And it will be Ziguri getting out quickly. Well, that just... Did you see what Sion just did there?
I did that. That was a great flash Q with his flash still up, and I have no idea what just happened, but it looked really funny.
Part of the Sion passive, clearly. Meanwhile, Lee Sin going to take advantage of the Nunu, who's got no business being anywhere near that Lee Sin, and Lee Sin makes a quick snack out of that Nunu.
Yeah. So Lee Sin right now is really strong. Full warrior at this point. Doesn't even have the Cinder Hulk on Nunu, and is just having a real good time. And doesn't even really care. Oh, well, hello, Sion.
Oh,
You
okay.
right there?
Well, Sion clearly creating brand new gameplay out of his mechanics. Meanwhile, free Infernal Drake for the side of Fallen Kingdom. As Fallen Kingdom have to now deal with the most ridiculous Sion plays. Fallen Kingdom now not only has a ridiculous advantage through Sion, but also in every other part of the map is going well for him too.
Yeah, honestly, no idea what this the Sion has been able to do for them. Have a bit of action coming up.
Here comes Morgana using the ultimate, trying to get a double bind. Is going to catch the Nunu though. Drakkar takes out one. He's going to go for two here, but it's the 80 carry that picks it up.
Honestly, exactly what Fallen Kingdom needs. They need to get Zerida into a good position here. Zerida is going to be really wants to get past that mid-game trough that Caitlyn has. And with that in mind, I really, really want to get that going, and they can have this immense siege potential. The Gragas is really good at sieging. The Morgana is really good at sieging. The Caitlyn's really good at sieging. Lee Sin can always threaten these dives with the Scion ultimate as well. So honestly, something that the entirety of our MVP have to play around is this immense siege potential if Caitlyn is able to get strong enough to force these sieges.
This game so far definitely is a game of attrition.
Yes, it is. But a good roam.
Oh, Yasuo might be able to take out. Yes, he does. He gets the kill on the Morgana. Hindsight trying to make one more kill out of this. He's not going to get the chance. Drakkar coming up. The flash by Aurelia. The ultimate by Tristana to stop the Drakkar engage. He's going to kick Galio back to stop Yasuo from coming up. And Gragas is just waddling around there waiting for something. Ultimate ultimate engage. Sorry, his waddling reminds me of Deadpool when he had the baby legs.
I will say the RMB is really trying to force this happen. They do get one kill. They get their first kill of the game for them. Yasuo able to pick it up as he's not had a great time at all in this mid lane.
Oh, that Deadpool 2 movie. Sorry, everybody. That was the reference. Anywho, back to the game. Gragas certainly having a good time this time around. In fact, his whole team seems to be farming rather well in comparison to their opponents here. The only one that is not the case is Timeslayer X, who seems to be doing everything but farming well against his opponent.
Honestly, it's a little hard right now. He does have the Spectre's Cowl, so it should lighten up a little bit. He didn't opt for a Corrupting Potion start, and it has been to his detriment. As much as the Relic Shield has been, or not Relic Shield, the Doran Shield has been good for him, it has not been the best buy.
Oh, looks like Scion's going to set this one up for Gragas on the side. Here comes Drakkar again. He's not going to allow himself to take it this time. He's going to try to give it away, and it looks like Scion will be the one picking it up.
That's really what Scion needs to get that that first item to completely survive against this Vladimir. Vladimir able to threaten him immensely just by poking him out and not having the sustain to deal with it.
Gragas here going to be engaged on by the Aurelia. The ultimate now used by Gragas. Here comes the reinforcements by Galio. Yasuo going to now take a step back. Locked down in the CC as he takes a fall to the Gragas here. Certainly walked right into that danger zone, didn't he?
Yeah. Cashew Jiddle has just been doing immensely well in this Gragas here, and it's just been really hard for Yasuo to even really deal with it, as you mentioned before. It's what can he do here? He wants to be in a position to even farm the minions, but he can't because the barrels, all he has to do is place them where he wants to be, where you can farm SMB. Melee is not very ideal.
So, they're going to try to get some procs out of that one. Jimothy wearing out the big boy. He's going to force Jimothy to make a drastic decision, and he was ready for it. Jimothy barely standing. No, he's gonna make the play. Gets the amount of suck he needs to get that kill.
That's right. It was all in the suck, and that's frankly all Jimothy needed. Just get that good suck, and here it goes.
Flash to guarantee that was a dead Vladimir, and he will die in the trade out as Scion goes for the tower, barely chipping away at that. As that will be a play at topside over with. At the bot side, big engage opportunity by Galio. He's gonna make it. He lives. And the play comes out well. No, it doesn't! The last tick by the minion kills him! Oh, I can't believe what I just witnessed.
Ooh, and looking like MVP, their own minions able to block in the Galio as Fallen Kingdom pays their minions to get that kill for Zerida there, and Zerida's loving it, feeling great about it. Tristana, though, able to get a kill there, and this is a good breath of life to see from RMVP here. They are down, and they are down 9 kills, and they're down 6k gold, but they still have potential to do something right now, as we're now seeing that being fulfilled completely.
You know, I'm starting to understand the whole Galio pick a lot better now, and I actually respect its playability. It does create a lot of awesome CC for an ADC to really take advantage of.
Especially if, and also really good counter engage if a ability was used too aggressively.
Yes, at the Ocean Drake side. Ziguri trying to keep him away from the ocean. Drakkar going to engage. Taunt will be placed on him. And Drakkar certainly had enough of that. Goes over the wall. Here comes Gragas on the side. As Lee Sin is going to pressure a little bit on the Q. Nothing too advanced going on here. Cashew's going to cause separation. What an incredible angle! Cashew sets it up perfectly with that incredible double barrel combo. Meanwhile, Caitlyn takes out the Nunu and Lee Sin finishes up the 4-man.
That was beautiful.
That was unbelievable. I haven't seen a Gragas pull off a combo with a double barrel as efficiently as this Cashew Doodle has.
Charged the W, he E-flashed him with the Q off to the side, and as he's like in the middle of his E-flash, he's able to throw the R and push the 80 carry hindsight right into the barrel, completely picks him out of the fight, destroys him as he's like the main carry potential for our MVP here, and just destroys the fight from it. Drakkar is just in the middle with him at that point, and able to W in, just get the extra damage from his E and auto attacks, Q, all of the good stuff.
Crazy,
And just
honestly.
nuts. It was really good.
Very, very good. Loving the amount of quick killing potential that a Gragas can pull off when they're ahead. My goodness, that is just some crazy stuff to witness. Double barrel combos are not easy to pull off, and he's doing it almost effortlessly.
Gragas opting for the Lich Bane here, which is that's aggressive. Considering your entire job here is to one-shot, I'm sure you like that Lich Bane for the one-shot, not like the kiting potential that you have as Gragas. And frankly, I like that, but I don't know if you could have done a little bit better with, say, an Oblivion Orb. Just saying.
Just saying? Yeah, I agree. 4-17 right now. The Rengar is MVP. Well, they're still there.
He's not looking like the MVP right now. He's looking like he's been bullied by a fat kid.
Oh boy, Jimothy here locked down. Oh, Cashew's gonna guarantee this one. Nunu trying to make what little he can of this situation, and he's gonna go ahead and get taken out. Drakkar will be the one to do the deed. Meanwhile, Ziguri buying more time, but Drakkar grabbing another kill on to that one. It's 4-20 here, and you rarely see something quite like that.
Yeah, honestly, our MVP do not really have their own jungle anymore, as you can see. Nunu just getting put pressure out of his own jungle. Jimothy trying to get like even a Scuttle Crab, and those aren't yours anymore. Drakkar is so strong. He's 7-1-7 on this season. It's super scary to even be doing anything. How's that? Goodbye, hindsight. You tried.
Well, let's see. Yasuo is not going to go down quite yet, quite fast. He's going to go ahead and try to jump in on Cashews. The combo was well, but it's Rengar overwhelming the odds as Yasuo will get the bounty on Cashew. I did not expect that. That damage reduction came through.
Yeah, Cashew was able to get bullied. Yasuo able to play it just what he needed to get that kill. Barely surviving, gets the kill, but he's immediately collapsed on by the Scion, able to get behind them. And then Drakkar, they're able to make sure that he does die, and Scion gets that kill.
Ooh, spotting him out is going to go ahead and get some more damage onto Jimothy.
Yeah, Rengar's MVP is not having the greatest time here in this current situation. They do not have the ability to even get the warding that they need to even contest this.
And that will be the end of Tristana in an instant. The catch, once again, going great, as this is exactly what they needed the Morgana to do. Just make the play, set up the catch, do it again. Make the play, set up the catch, do it again. And watch her repeats great.
And now we're starting to see that siege potential coming in as Caitlyn is really strong right now. 5-1-4. It's so hard for them to really deal with it as like Cashew is now alive. This tower is a spit away from death. They're so far ahead on the side of Fallen Kingdom.
And that'll be the turret falling down here. It looks to be another defensive positional stand for Rengar is MVP. He really needs to be careful.
Really need like an item or two on Jimothy, or in hindsight here, able to get into the middle of his fray. They look like they're going to try and force though.
Yeah, they will. Ultimate was activated. Scion's going to come in for the fight. He's going to be late, but he's not going to be missing too much. It's Gragas grabbing the double kill. Caitlyn gonna grab a little bit more, and it's a clean ace for the Fallen Kingdom as Jimothy tries to hold on the best he can.
And that is that team fight, as you get to see that. Just trying to make that play happen there, but not able to get into the team as much as they want to. They don't even have the damage. Nunu's so behind, barely item in his boots. Irelia had just finished the Trinity Force, not able to get into there. Hindsight only has an Infinity Edge and his Zerker Greaves, so he's just not able to output the same DPS that Zerida is right now. Galio, there's not too much that he can do from his support position that he is in. The Vladimir was able to survive the long, able to get a bunch of damage, but without really a team, it's very hard for him to be the person that his team needs him to be.
Yeah. And that'll be the Baron secured for the Fallen Kingdom. And this is a, well, at this point, they could set up a 4-1, send everybody outside while we have Sion trying to take the top and just instantly go ahead and aim for the classic split win strat. But at this point, it looks to be a idea for a one more objective. No, Sion's going to go ahead and start the TP. Very rare situation you see here. I think they are very confident in their 4-man group here to do a TP like that. But Timeslayer, I don't know about that TP, to be honest.
Honestly, they're so far ahead. They just want the objectives here and trying to get something.
Are really going to try to set up the play. Drakkar takes him out. Jimothy going to try to make the most of this. Drakkar's barrier is too big. Hindsight might be able to grab a Morgana, though, for dinner. He's going to have the damage. He gets the double bounce. He's going to get a triple bounce. As Hindsight's going to, unfortunately, can step on the trap. And meanwhile, the last punch comes in for Ziguri as he cakes the bounty. Drakkar, unfortunately, too many items, too big, too tanky, will take the triple kill.
Yeah, honestly, as I was about to say, Red Team can just probably force at any point in time, even 4v5, even 3v5 as we get to see there, as basically Drakkar just 3v5 is the enemy team.
Yasuo doing everything he can, trying to outwit him, trying to give him the 900 IQ play. It doesn't seem to be stopping this Sion from taking the tower. Cashew will keep Freak Out away from the tower, and it's finally going to come down. No, it's still a few autos away, and they seem to be holding him off.
Yeah, Cashew kind of trolling right there. Uses W to try and clear the minions rather than the W Lich Bane Brock to just take the tower. As the man has a Lich Bane, he is real strong right about now.
He's got the deeps.
Morgana, he's got more than the deeps.
3v5 situation here. Caitlyn is not a part of this fight, but it doesn't seem to be any way of a matter for the Fallen Kingdom. They're going to go ahead and start taking some objectives. Sion takes the tower. Jimothy is going to get bursted and taken out from the damage. And it looks to be Ziguri and Hindsight are barely able to stay alive in this one. A lockdown, and that will be the end of it. The Fallen Kingdom winning by, let's see, that's football numbers here. That's about 5 touchdowns? Is that 5 touchdowns? Yes, that is 5 touchdowns. So 4 touchdown lead for the Fallen Kingdom.
And 20k gold lead. Honestly, crazy. As much as Rengar is MVP, and Rengar was the MVP, maybe, was not able to carry them through that game. Honestly, the Gragas pick was really good.
So, as I was told by one of the members of of the game, it was the cleanest game they have ever that MVP has ever done. The cleanest.
I believe them. They're very clean. They played it very nicely.
Farming well, though. Tristana, 140 on the farm, actually nearly beat the enemy ADC. It was very good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very good. He was doing super well in that regard. He was completely out farming Zerida throughout most of the laning phase, but the farm is not what you needed. You needed to survive. You needed to get to that point where you were stronger. The early game team comp that the Fallen Kingdom drafted got exactly what they wanted. They got early game. They won early game. They were able to snowball through the early game super hard with the likes of Cashew being immensely strong. Drakkar playing the Lee Sin out of his mind, doing very nicely, getting the entire map ahead.
Well, at the end of the game, we have only one thing that I'm curious about, because I just want to know. I just want to take a look at the Control Wars purchase. Okay, thank goodness. Wait a minute! Oh my goodness! Ziggurat didn't buy a Control Ward!
Isn't that the support?
That is the support!
Oh
He
no!
didn't even buy it. In fact, he had one of the lowest mission scores on his team!
And that's why he was an E-sub, gentlemen.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Cannot believe what I just witnessed. I'm going to have a talk with him later on. But I think that should just about end it for the night here. It's been a heck of a day.
It's been a delightful day.
It's been a day. I suppose it would be in fan interest to get an interview, 2 interviews in here. One from the side of the Fallen Kingdom. I suppose if they are interested in a interview, they can join into the watch party room. One of the members who is interested in that said interview, if they are, and oh my goodness, he did it! Best Anime changed his name to Best Hentai.
Honestly,
The joke.
after that first game, it was deserved.
I had it clipped, by the way, all this stuff. Okay, all right. Seriousness aside, seriousness now being brought to now. Fallen Kingdom. If any of you are interested in doing an interview, we'll take you. Just join into the watch party. Whoever is the one who is going to take that interview, and I will go ahead and bring you right on in. I'll know that you're ready if you want to take that interview. So it looks to be Cashew Doodle. Actually, it looks like multiple members are starting to jump in here. Now that I know that 3 of you want to take an interview, I'm going to have to narrow it down to 1. We could say Drakkar, as he did get the most kills in the game. You want to get him in the interview?
Exactly who I was thinking.
Hey, I'm actually going to be interviewed for this game. First of all, I would like to thank my team for being great. Of course, it was my leadership. The guy.
Thank you, Rengar. You were the MVP. You did great. Thank you to your entire team for doing what you can. Not the first one to be moved in here. Kind of an accident, but
yeah, kind of an accident, yes. So let's go ahead and bring in Drakkar for our individual. Hey man,
wait, bring Cash in there. We're doing a duo interview.
Oh!
I'm down.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, this is
Yeah.
very special, very special.
There we go. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Cashew, Drakkar, heck of a game you guys had in your previous performances. What did you guys think of your mechanics this game? Seemed like you guys were really on point with everything.
Trash. We missed a whole bunch
I
of stuff.
really don't want to talk about that last combo, but otherwise I think I did okay.
If you watch the
the
last
last
clip, we
combo
both
on the
missed
tower?
combos.
Yeah, the last
The one. Well, the one where I saw Aurelia and then I used every single ability and not one of them actually hit Aurelia.
I watched that one. That was fantastic. I also
Thank
like
you.
I also like the Drakkar right after that. He hits the Q right onto hindsight and then W's forward with the ward hop and is not in range to kick him and execute him and just like, oh no.
Yep. I had a no moment. It's like, hey, dodge the snowball. We're good.
That was
we
our
good.
comms, by the way. Just
There
was a couple oh no's right there.
I can imagine it was just like, oh, you're feeling yourself, feeling a little hyphy, getting real strong, and then you're just like, oh, I seem to have made a mistake.
Yeah, sniff too much Adderall, you know.
Oh, okay. Fair
You
enough.
know what I do love though? I love Gragas and Aurelia. That's one of my favorite matchups. So if anyone wants to play that again, I'm down.
All right.
Let's
Well,
go. 100%.
So speaking of your Gragas, I did clip one of your plays with your combination. You did that really, really well. The
Thank
barrel
you.
positioning. That was
Yeah, I saw
absolutely
that.
very great. I hope you. Yeah, I was supposed to say I hope you did watch that. It was pretty good. How many times
Yeah.
have you practiced that? It just seems like you were really nailing that.
So I have about
That's
half
his
a million
first time
masters
Gragas.
on Gragas.
No.
First time.
Oh, first time.
Um,
Okay, gotcha.
No, I have a lot of Gragas plays, a lot of time on Gragas. It's a complete waste of time. The champ's bad, but he's so fun.
Well, when you can get crazy combos like that, that's certainly great. Drakkar here. I noticed the selfless act you decided to do here. You were already at 4-0-2, and you got yourself a kill onto Freak Out, and it looked so free. But then you said, "You know what, teammates? I'm gonna jump back. I'm gonna let you guys take this one." Is
yeah.
that a selfless act? Is this courageousness?
No, it's
It-
just how you're supposed to jungle.
oh wow,
Supposed to
wow.
give kills to the ADC.
All right,
Man
so
of honor.
man of
Yeah, I'm
honor
pla-
indeed.
But you gave
I'm,
it to the
I'm
Scion.
playing Lee Sin. It doesn't matter.
So Fallen.
Dang.
So is it the Rising Kingdom after all? It's not the Fallen one, or are we still Fallen
No,
here?
the Fallen Kingdom's too meme to go away.
Fair enough. The Fallen Kingdom will not fall out of style quite yet.
The whole meme is that we will rise.
Ah,
Because we're
What?
fallen.
Once you fall and you can only go up.
Exactly.
Oh, it's
Mhm.
brilliant. Truly brilliant.
Except when you're fallen, Elo, I wouldn't recommend that.
Final question for the both of you here. How have you guys enjoyed this week one? Is every game seeming to be a pretty fun one for you both?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's just a blast to get into tournament play again, honestly. I've been out of tournament play for so long.
Well, it's
my
pretty
first
missed
time
it.
playing tournaments, so
Oh, yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, it's his first time.
Ladies and gentlemen,
His first time.
from the Fallen Kingdom, Cashew, Doodle, and Drakkar, the mid laner Cashew, the jungler Drakkar. Thank you very much for being part of this interview. Doors on the right. You're both set to leave.
Alright, cheers.
All right.
Cheers.
Really appreciate that. Okay, I believe it's only fair that we go ahead and get ourselves at the end of the streameruno. So I think we can go ahead and end it here. I think it would probably be in our best interest to end it. So we're gonna go ahead and do that way. Thank you very much for everybody watching, and I hope you guys had some entertainment factor out of it because it was pretty fun. I gotta admit. Never
I had
thought
a
I'd play a
great
game like
time.
that.
I had a great time, made some jokes, had a blast. It was fantastic. Rengar showed up, made a beam at the casting. That was kind of funny. But I wish you all a great night, and see you guys later.
Yep. Good night, everybody.